What's up, fam? It's Brian Castro, and I just watched episode 2 of She-Hulk, and I absolutely loved it. But before we start getting into that episode, let's talk about my first video. Remember when I said, did She-Hulk just introduce the X-Men? Got a lot of comments like that at the bottom, said I'm reaching so hard. But I just got one question. Who's reaching now? And I'll get back to him in just a moment. But we start this episode with the news is portraying her as this big hero. She goes to the bar to celebrate with her friends. They're like, She-Hulk, She-Hulk. Of course, she doesn't like the name, but she goes in there, she celebrates. Her boss comes in, asks her to Hulk down so they can talk. And he says, you know, you did the right thing in the court case, saving those jurors. But unfortunately, you're now a liability because we lost the case and I have to let you go. Of course, this depresses her. She tries to get other jobs. And I like how they're showing her transition in this as she's applying for the higher class firms to the lower class firms. You can see in the background the different offices as they changing. I thought that was really cool. And then she has this family dinner at her parents' house. And her dad seems to be the only one with any kind of compassion for her. So you can tell they're really close. And he even makes a Hawkeye reference, which I thought was really cool. So there was a definite connection there, possibly. But now let's get into that Wolverine connection. So we see her and her friend, and they're at her house, and she's looking at her computer, and we see this screen. Now, if you look up there, don't forget to get your free comic with that QR code. But we got an Ant-Man reference, we got a Thor reference, the Avengers reference. But if you check this little side piece, now I need some Iron Man 3s. Where do I get them? I need those shoes. But also, there's a reference to Wolverine right there. That first story, and then we got another reference to that large stone giant that was in the ocean that they never brought up. And I think that last one, it's hard to read because you don't get the whole screen. I think that could be a Captain America reference, but I am not sure. But yeah, love the Eternals and the X-Men reference. I'm totally hyped for what's coming up next. Then we see her at the bar, and she's, you know, kind of depressed. And then Mr. Holloway, the very same lawyer that she defeated, comes in and says he wants to hire her for the head of the superhuman division. And he basically tells her, you know, you did an amazing job in that court case. I mean, we beat you by mistrial, but really you created a winning case against us. So he hires her in, brings her into the office, and a lot of fourth wall, like, and I'm watching the people in the background at the office, and I'm wondering if they're noticing her. There's a cool reference to the comics where one of the guys comes out of the room and you see the comics, you know, right there, which I thought that was really cool. And she finds out she has to defend the Abomination in her first case. And of course, if you know the history, that's crazy. And Tim Roth, of course, he played it fantastic. And I'm loving the Silence of the Lambs reference as a horror fan. And then she calls, you know, Bruce Banner her. And we get a World War Hulk reference. And then check out this on the phone. I thought this was, which makes me think of this.